How something starts is almost never how it ends. In the beginning, everything feels aligned. You're interested. They're interested. The energy is there. You're thinking about what it could become, not what it actually is. That's attraction. And attractions is easy. But attraction doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you how someone handles pressure. It doesn't tell you how they communicate when things shift. It doesn't tell you what happens when real life shows up. That's where things change. Because after the attraction comes the adjustment. You start learning the person, what they do, what they don't do, what they say, and what they avoid saying. And this is where most people miss it, because they're still holding on to the beginning. They remember how it felt. They remember the effort. They remember the version of that person before reality got involved. So now, instead of seeing what's happening, they're comparing it to what it used to be. That's where irritation starts. Not because something big happened, but because something small keeps repeating. Lack of effort, inconsistent communication, different expectations, different pacing. And now you're in this space where you're trying to figure out, is this just how relationships evolve? Or is this who they really are? Because those are not the same thing. People say, love is a choice, and it is. But that doesn't mean you ignore what you're choosing. Effort is a choice. Communication is a choice. Consistency is a choice. And when those things start changing, that's not random. That's information. But instead of taking it as information, people hold on. They hold on to potential. They hold on to history. They hold on to the version of the person that made them feel something in the beginning, and they wait for it to come back. Sometimes it does. Most of the time, it doesn't. Because relationships don't fall apart in one moment. They shift, slowly, quietly, in ways you feel before you can explain. And gut instinct picks up on that early. Not when it's obvious, not when it's undeniable. Early. But early requires something most people avoid. Decision. Because once you see it clearly, you can't pretend you don't anymore. So now you have to choose. Do you hold on to what it was, or do you respond to what it is? That's where relationships actually change. Not at the beginning, not at the end. In the middle, when things stop matching and you decide what that means.